This is Meredith and Dalton, and they will be my audience members for today. Hello, my name is Haley Doctor, and I am here today to talk about marriage. And it might be a touchy subject for some of y'all, but today we're laying it all out on the table. The younger generation of today's society sees no need in getting married, whether it's because they don't want to commit or they just don't really see a need for marriage. I think there is a lot more to marriage than just legally changing my name or living with someone. Marriage is the unity of two people and a commitment to love each other and pick each other up regardless of what life throws at them. I am a Christian and a strong believer that God has a plan for each and every one of us. Marriage is every little girl's dream. What kind of dress she's going to wear, what kind of food she's going to serve, where she's going to tie the knot at, and what her theme colors will be. Marriage is a huge commitment that people make when they believe they have found the person they want to experience the rest of their life with. Marriage goes back to the start of life, and after this, I'm going to have you running to the altars. Not everyone is religious, and that's your choice. However, I am. So I want to shed some light on how powerful my God expresses marriage and how my faith encourages me to get married someday. Even if you don't believe in God, I hope this will open your eyes on the strength and beauty marriage can bring to you. Marriage is God's goal for all of us and can create such beautiful things in our lives. Being a Christian has allowed for me to see what God has in store for us as far as marriage goes. In the Bible, verse Ephesians 5:25 through 33 reads, "Husbands, love your wives, as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, that he might sanctify her, having cleansed her by the washing of the water with the word, so that he might present the church to himself in splendor, without spot or wrinkle or any such thing, that she might be holy and without blemish. In the same way, husbands should love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife, for no one has ever hated his own flesh, but nourishes and cherishes it, just as Christ does the church." This powerful verse explains to us that man and wife should love each other as their own skin and pick each other up when the other is down. This verse states that the love and devotion that Christ has for the church should be the same that man and wife have for each other. God is inspiring us through this verse to find someone who loves us deeply as he loved the church, and to commit to them for the rest of our lives. My faith and relationship with God has had its ups and downs, but I pray that marriage is in God's plan for me, and even if it isn't, that won't stop me from looking for Mr. Right. Kate McGowan stated in one of her poems, "Keep an open mind. The right person coming to you at the right time will change everything you have ever thought was to be true." Now I want you to imagine what your biggest dream as a kid was, whether it was to be an astronaut or to live in a mansion in Beverly Hills. Mine was having a huge wedding, being happy and experiencing a day full of love and joy. That is my dream and still is. Being a little girl, I dreamed of what my dream wedding would look like. And although that vision has morphed and changed throughout time, my dream is still the same. I couldn't tell you how many Pinterest boards of wedding dresses, veils, decor I've had, and I'm only 18. And if you're a woman, then you can't tell me that at some point in your life, your Pinterest didn't look the same way. Your dream can come true, but you have to be willing to have faith and trust that one day Mr. Right will come looking for you. And although my vision isn't the same as my parents', I imagine that some details of their big day will be incorporated in mine. For example, my mom carried white lilies on her big day, and that's what I plan to hold when my father walks me down the aisle. He still, to this day, brings her white lilies on their wedding anniversary. And that's what I want in my future. And you probably do too, even if you can't admit it yet. When they tied the knot, style was just a little bit different back then. So I don't plan on having the huge puffy shoulders that look like clouds or the long sleeves, but I do plan on having the long, gorgeous train and the beautiful lace. My parents' big day is something that will be remembered forever, and you can have the same experience if you just have faith. Christian Polymus, a famous wedding dress designer, once wrote, "My dreams all have the same goal, to help make everything around me beautiful and to encourage love." This is the ultimate motto for planning a wedding, and I'm hopeful that you keep this in mind when planning your big day. Every little girl dreams of her wedding, and it's up to you to make that little girl's dream come true. Even if you're not completely convinced on tying the knot yet, I hope some research will help you out. The statistics for younger people getting married gets lower and lower every year. Based on Bentley University's research, it is quoted that traditional marriage has been on a downward trajectory for generations. But with this group, it appears to be in a free fall. According to a report released last month by the Pew Research Center, 25% of millennials are likely to never get married. This downfall will only come to a stop if we change our ways. If we are better about trusting people, opening up to people, and even just caring about people a little more than we are today. Marriage should never be on a downcline and should always be magic that's created between two people. Some things to consider before completely giving up on the idea of getting married. 1, your father will never get to walk you down the aisle. 2, you'll never get to experience that beautiful first dance you share with the love of your life. 3rd, you'll never have a good enough reason to change your name. And most importantly, you'll have to wake up every day knowing that Mr. Right is looking for you, but because of your decision to not get married, he may never get that experience either. Not only are you making a choice for your life, but you're also making a choice for the guy that was literally made for you. Mr. Right is out there for you, and even if you can't find him yet, doesn't mean you should stop looking. Marriage is all about patience, and right now you just have to endure the wait and hope for the best. Just remember that marriage is the best thing to jumpstart your life if you're willing to take a chance. Marriage is life-changing, and I hope that after this I have inspired you not only with my own story, but to create one of your own. My faith has played a huge role on how I view the world, and even if you aren't religious, I think you can relate to what was said today. I want all of you to remember what it felt like when you were a little girl dreaming of your wedding. The jitters you got thinking about your dad walking you down the aisle, the anticipation of meeting the guy that God literally created for you, and how when you used to play dress up, you would play the classical wedding song and pretend you were walking down the aisle. That is what marriage is all about, and I promise that if you have faith in marriage, and not only in marriage, but have faith in yourself, that you can commit, then when you do, the rest of your life will be full of love and adventure. Thank you, and you better get to work on planning that big day of yours.